Welcome back to the B&E Show. Today is about me, Ben, B of the E&E Show, interviewing our main man, Dennis Berry. This guy is a freaking legend. Not only does he shoot 25 points in basketball games, totally crushing the competition, but this man is a working machine here at SMB Team. Oftentimes, he's here way past the rest of us, and because he has the passion and the love for this company's mission, all right? So Dennis has been here basically since the beginning of the company, and he's here to talk about how to build a culture for your law firm and why that's so important in 2021. We all know that the great resignation crisis and the war for talent just restarted here with the world opening back up. And so Dennis is going to show us how you can create a culture in your firm that attracts the best talent, so that way you've got the best team that everyone wants to work for and work with. So Dennis, it is my pleasure and my honor to interview you here today, my friend. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. And thank you for the intro. I appreciate that.
No worries. He may think that it's on a pedestal, but these are just straight facts. Dennis is freaking legendary in this company. We would not be where we are without his efforts, all right? So Dennis, I want you to tell us the story of how you came to find SMB Team or how it came to find you.
Love it. So I was working for a digital marketing agency, a pretty big one. Huge, just a cog in the machine, cubicles, working day in, day out, just forgetting, what you did that day, just to run of the mill. And then I get this email from this guy, Bill Hauser. And then he's letting me know, hey, he has a digital marketing agency. He likes my experience, wants me to come in and see, just get a feel for it, right? Am I open for a new job position, things like that.
Were you actively looking at the time?
Kind of. Because
your LinkedIn profile was like, I'm looking, but not like actively.
Exactly. It's kind of like my dating life, But no. So yes, I kind of was looking because I was kind of tired of my day to day. I just wanted more. So I came to meet Bill. Bill is the exact same as he was, maybe even a little crazy. So went through it, met him, met another employee that was there as well, went through a string of questions, and then just at the end, when it was all said and done, Bill goes, hey, you look like you work out. You want to do a pull-up challenge? And mind you,
what?
Yes.
This is part of your interview process?
This is an interview. So I have on a tie, I have on a nice jacket, slacks, dress shoes, just at the same time, you want to put your best foot forward, and I'm super competitive, right? So there's no way I'm going to let the person who's conducting my interview beat me in a pull-up challenge, right? So I'm like, hell yeah. So we go to the gym and we do a pull-up challenge. And, I beat Bill.
Take that!
Yes. Not sure if that was why I got hired, but yes, I got hired. He offered me a couple days later, and I kind of contemplated because this is a startup, the second employee, so it was a big risk coming from
an established, well-run company, right?
Well-run, benefits, things like that. And to take a chance on this company that kind of has no structure. But I believed in Bill's vision, and I made the right choice.
I think you did too. I mean,
for sure.
I love the fact that you actually had that pull-up challenge with him. That's incredible.
Yes. He's still bitter about that. So we have competitions because Bill is competitive as well. So I always have that to lean back.
And I'm sure that you constantly beat him too because, you're not one to ever let the competition sneak up on you, right?
For sure.
I appreciate that. All right.
Sure. You stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
I love it. Dennis's motto, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Exactly. I like it. All right, so the first question I want to ask you about culture is, in your experience and in your mind, what is that number one strategy for both creating and maintaining a strong culture for a company?
Well, for me, it's setting that baseline of respect throughout the company, right? So that's number one. I feel that a lot of times the big corporations, they're stuffy, they stick to the process, super black and white. You know, so for me, it's having that baseline like of respect and also transparency of this is not going to be easy. You know, growing a company is not easy. You know, it's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of hours, it's a lot of preparation.
That's true.
And it's just setting that baseline of, hey, this is going to be tough, but I want you to know that I'm here with you. We're all here with you, just so that we're all rowing in the right direction. We're strength in numbers. So really just establishing that we are in this together. I like to approach it as like a player coach, kind of, you know, kind of like Kobe, kind of like LeBron James, and, you know, mentoring, coaching, but just at the same time, I'm here on the floor and I'm here to get shit done.
I love that perspective, and I will say that Dennis, he does what he says. And for me, as an employee that he helped interview and hire, you could see that. You could see that integrity to what he does what he says he does. You know, there was always that level of respect for me and for every hire that I think has come through S&B team.
Yes.
We always feel that Dennis and the rest of the team has that respect for us, and more importantly, is transparent. I know that when I was hired, we had the talk about how it would be difficult and that it would require a lot of effort, but that there would be a reward. And for me, that actually stood out as a potential candidate. I loved the fact that they were willing to confront those fears and those hardships right at the beginning. So that way it wasn't a surprise for me when I was asked to give more.
Definitely. Like there's so many companies who are A, so desperately to hire, and B, desperately to reach their goals to the point where they sometimes hide or don't tell the full story, right? But we have a different approach here because we want all high performers. We want to lay everything out on the table. We have super big goals. And
Fact.
You know, and we want to make sure that everybody is on board with those big goals and to let them know that this isn't going to be easy, but I guarantee it's going to be fun.
And I will confirm that it is fun. All right. So the next question that I've got for you, my friend, is how did you build S&B team's culture, and like what were some of the steps that you actively went through in order to build what we currently work in right now?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, it goes back to the baseline. The number one thing that I want to lay down is, you know, the respect. So building the company culture starts off with respect and transparency. Mix that in with high performers, people who, you know, have done that, who have the experience, or maybe don't have the experience and they're a great culture fit and they have the hunger to learn. You know, mixing all of that concoction in, I think is great. I don't know if I answered the question.
No, that's perfectly fine, because it sounds like that respect is a basis from which you really stem most of the decisions. So is there like a document that you actually sat down with Bill or maybe the leadership team, or like, this is what our company culture is? Did that happen? And if so, what were the steps that went into making that document?
Like it kind of just happened. Like honestly, you know, when I was hired, I was the account manager. Like I was there, boots on the ground, building campaigns, landing pages, you know, talking to clients and things like that. Bill, during that time, you know, he brought in some good talent before I fully took over the role. Bill actually saw something in me that I had no idea, right? Like I was just boots on the ground, just ready to go. Like I'm competitive, right? So we have this goal to meet. Like, let me go ahead and check off the to-dos and let's get to it to reach those goals. But Bill actually slowed me down and he made me realize my unique ability is connecting with people. So with that, you know, I took time, did my own research, did my own personal development and things like that, just to try to keep it consistent along the way.
Yeah.
And by no means, like, am I perfect? I've had misses and things like that.
Hey, even Kobe and you know, LeBron and,
Exactly.
and Jordan, they all had their misses, brother. So don't beat yourself up.
Yes. There's no losses, just lessons. But
that's right.
But I learned from my lessons. I see, you know, I know the signs of a great culture fit. We have a great screening process. We have a great recruiting process that we stick to.
Perfect. What are some of those screening processes, and how can you tell what a culture fit is? Is it just something where you're just like, ooh, culture fit? Or is there actually like criteria that you go through mentally when you're evaluating a candidate?
There's a lot of things that go into it. Of course, it's how they answer my questions, of course. We also put them through personality, assessments such as Kobe and DISC. And some, in some, it's, in some you just feel it. Some candidates just glow through the screen, right? Some candidates may not have the technical skills, but just glow through the screen. So it's, it's kind of my spidey senses.
Nice. So he does have the woo, spidey sense tingling. I love it. Cool. And then what are some of the questions that you actually use during the interview process to pull that information to really get that feel for some of these good hires and some of the bad hires that you've made?
Yeah. One question that I always ask is, what are some characteristics that would make up a great person in the position that you're hiring for? So just hearing what they think a top performer in that position is really tells me a lot. I also ask them, what is your greatest professional weakness?
Ooh, that's a good one.
So that really shows the humility of the candidate. What are some other questions? Why did you decide to apply? So that lets me know a lot. That lets me know how serious they're taking it. That lets me know if they're detail-oriented, fact finder to go through our website to check things out, just to do due diligence and go that extra mile to educate themselves on the company. Really goes a long way. It shows that they care.
Awesome. So from what I'm hearing is not only do you have to kind of have a good sense for people, but you can also ask questions as to why did they apply? What are the characteristics for the top characteristics for the role that they're applying for?
Exactly.
And I love that question about their greatest professional weakness.
Yes.
That is a huge screening question, in my opinion.
That forces them to hold up the mirror and kind of look at themselves. And another one is, what are you looking to get out of your next role? So that really lays down the baseline of kind of where they're at, what don't they like about where they're at, and how they want to move up. That's just to get a gauge of, their future plans, and also just to see how they would like to grow professionally, because we hear growth is a minimum requirement. So we want people who always want to grow, that growth mindset.
It's phenomenal. This is a great interview, Dennis. I just isn't this guy camera savvy?
Stop
and just
it. Stop
up. He's being humble here. All right.
Sorry, bless him.
So the last question that I got for you, thank you for blessing me, are what, in your opinion and your experience, what are some of those top culture killers, and what are the effects that it has on a company's growth, performance, and overall stability?
Yeah, I think the number one culture killer is when a company doesn't have clear-cut goals that they're striving for, right? So I think that's the basis, right? So it's not always, the candidate or the employee or the team member. We also have to hold the mirror up to ourselves as well, just to make sure that everybody is rowing in the right direction, that everybody does have clear-cut goals, that everybody is incentivized to reach those goals, right? So you see in a lot of companies, there aren't really goals, and the team members, they don't know their participation or what they have to do to contribute to that goal. So similar to my previous role prior to joining, it's kind of just day to day, not knowing what you did and not knowing the effect, right? Whether opposed to here, there are clear-cut goals. We can actually see that we are changing these attorneys. So here, we do see that there are clear-cut goals. And we can see the attorneys' growth through their campaigns, through feedback, testimonials, and things like that. So I believe that that's number one.
Yeah, so number one is having the goals. What are another 2 or 3 that you would recommend based on some experiences? Maybe you can actually tell a horror story.
Okay. Ben's really putting me on the spot.
That's right. Of course, we'll withhold names for privacy's sake, but I think that there's been a couple of bad apples that have really
Yes.
impacted the way you value your candidates, right?
Yes, definitely. Through my years of experience, I've actually learned that years of experience doesn't mean a lot unless they want to grow. So there can be times where, you bring in that person with tons of years of experience who comes in and they don't want to grow, right? We're in digital marketing. The only thing that is for certain in digital marketing is change, right?
Fact.
So that person with years of experience is great, is amazing. We can learn from them a ton, right? But if they're not willing to grow and grow with the platform and adapt to the changes, we're just going to be relying on those years of experience, right? Those years of experience could be in traditional marketing. Those years of experience could be when PPC first came about, but there are like algorithm changes or privacy settings that you can't necessarily do what you did. So we have, so one culture killer would be team members not wanting to grow. Another huge culture killer is drama.
Yeah.
Drama.
And I think that's what every business owner's terrified of, right?
Yeah, definitely. And that's why here we have a set of boxing gloves just so that they can all fight it out. I'm joking.
I was going to say, I haven't been a part of these.
That's because you're a great fit. We don't need to box.
Okay, good.
I'm just joking. But no, drama is definitely a huge culture killer. It's a huge drain. It forces everybody to tiptoe around and not be able to innovate fast. And another huge one is teammates not being aligned with the goals.
Well, what does that mean when you say that, teammates not being aligned with the goals?
That just means that they maybe have their own ideas on how a company should be ran. Right? It's always that, if I was in that seat, I wouldn't do that. Or if I was you, I would do this differently. Or, how do you know that works? So that's a huge culture killer.
Awesome. Hey, so, to wrap it up here, it seems like the culture killers are not having goals for a company. B, having experienced people who don't want to grow. So really just not having a team member that doesn't want to grow. Drama. And then the third thing is not having team members align with those goals.
Correct.
Perfect. So those are the keys to creating a solid culture. And I'll be telling you, just as a third-party observer, that Dennis has been bringing in some of the highest quality candidates that we've seen in a long time for some of the positions that we're hiring for. And I think it's because of these standards that he both communicates and that he protects, that is making the difference for our company's growth. So Dennis, thank you so much for your time. I know that being on camera is not necessarily your thing, but we're going to make a superstar out of you.
I appreciate that.
No worries. So before you go, you need to subscribe, click the like button, and say one comment about Dennis, whether that's about his beard, whether it's about what he talked about, or his dress and his sweet 3-point shot. We want to see what your comment is below, all right? So comment below. And Dennis, thank you so much again, my friend.
Thank you so much. And if you guys know any great candidates who would be a great fit for this company, just apply it on our website. We have a careers tab, and that goes directly to me. And I look forward to meeting all of you.
Yeah, that link will be in the description, so don't miss it, all right? Peace out, stay great, and be the bar.
Be the bar, everybody.
That's right. Yep.
Action. Oh man, I didn't want to lift my arms because I didn't know if I had the pit stain. I didn't know if I had the pitties.